Hello my friends, hey, it's Sandy Carlucci. This is just a brief overview of the FDB3000 that you purchased, and what I'm going to do is just describe the unpacking and the operation of the box to give you some basics of how it's going to work. I just want to say thank you to Steve Gillum for his Santology book. He's really the real inventor of the box, and he's given me the privilege to produce these boxes with his cooperation. And of course, I wouldn't have been involved with any of this without my wonderful partner, Cheryl Saxrud, who passed away in April, but she was the one who gave me the idea to continue making those boxes for other Santa Clauses. I was going to do it for just ourselves, and she said, hey, why don't you think about other Santas that are going to be able to use it. So thank you, sweetie, you did a great job too. So what we want to do today is just talk about the unpacking and the operation of the box. The only thing that you'll need supposedly is a pair of scissors, I think. We'll see how it goes. This is the way I'm doing it. So when you receive your box, hopefully it's shipped to you without any damage, and you'll be receiving some packaging material and things like that. But what you want to do is just remove the packaging. The bottles will be in their own little package and wrapped individually. So you want to take all those out and store them. The bottles themselves will be in a glued or removable format. These particular bottles are glued, but yours will have a removable top. They seem snug, but they will be able to be removed. I'll have some further detail later on in this video to show you some specifics about that. But to go through the bottles, the bottles are all key coded, of course, and are color coded for the operation of each one of the bottles' function based on the fairy box description that's in Steve's book. And what I've done is, I haven't done it on these bottles, but I think I'll do it in all future bottles. I'm actually going to put a charm on all the bottles, kind of a reminder for you to illustrate the purpose of each one of the bottles. The fairy dust bottles will have a charm on them to give you a reminder of which function is. The box itself will come in a bag, in its own bag, and all you need to do with the scissors is just use that to cut the bag open, and you should be able to get the box. Now let's just start with the basic box operation and the understanding of what the box is. The box itself, it's a fragile box. It's a fragile box. I know it looks sturdy, but it's fragile. Everything in it is small. All the screws, all the hinges, all the pieces and parts are from a jewelry box. So as a result, it's not made to be handled roughly. So you want to take care with that. There's no large screws, no large hinges on this box. So what you need to do is depend on the box's handles that are on each side, each end of the box, and you want to make sure that you don't hold the box from the top, or you don't hold it from the, you don't pick it up from the top, or you don't put stress on any of the hinge points. The hinges are located on the back of the top, right there, and there's also a hinge on the front that provides the reveal. So inside the box, if you've ordered one of the protective bags, the protective bag will be inside the box, along with a little piece of tinsel to add just a little more glamour to the basic box. I'll talk about this in a minute. But the basic box is, again, it's very fragile, so you would want to make sure that these hinges and the operation of the box is always done on a table or some place that's sturdy. You don't want to be holding the box and maneuvering and trying to open it and relying on your fact that you're going to be holding the box with hands. Instead, you want to be using the handles to get it onto a table and then do everything on the table. So just to get the operation of the box performed, it's a very simple performance. There's a hinged top and a hinged reveal panel in the front. There's a simple clutch in the front that keeps everything closed. The operation of the box will be provided by, and I'll go into a little more details in just a minute, but it's located underneath the false floor. There's a false floor that is involved here. You can see that there's a string of LED lights. Those LED lights will illustrate or illuminate the bottles. And to get access to it, what you need to do is just simply put a finger on the right hand side and using your finger lift up on the false floor, which is nothing more than just some cardboard, but it's wired. You can see the wires. It's wired to a battery pack and a switch. And again, I'll get some close-up video of this, but the video will show how to get access to this area here. Once you have access to that area, it's simply nothing more than opening the battery pack, which is connected, and flipping the on-off switch to the on position. There's an on-off switch, and it's written on here on and off. And all you do is you flip that switch into the on position. Once you do that, the magic hidden switch, which you will find by simply putting your finger underneath the box and feeling for a little nipple under the flooring. And once you push the flooring button, the LEDs will come on. Push it one more time, the LEDs will go off. So that's as simple as it is. I recommend that you use the button for once you're near the location that you're going to be using the box for, and once the button is on, the LEDs will come on and they will stay on. It's a 8-pack AA battery, and I'll get you more details in a minute just to show you what it's like to be inside the box and get you more detailed close-up video of what it is inside. But simply, all you do is you place the bottles into their appropriate location. You can close the box. You can push the switch. And once you push the switch, let me give you the full glamour of it. Just a minute. I'll put the extra tinsel in there to add a little more ooh la la, a little glamour to it. There it is. Okay. Once the reveal is made, you have the reveal as pulling down on the front and showing the reveal like this. You can talk about each one of the bottles, each one of the functions. You can actually open up the lid, and you can proceed with your entertainment portion of using the box. Talk to Steve and read what information he's put into the book about how to entertain with the box. Once you close up the box, you can simply put the box away, and I'll show you in a minute how to put that box away inside the bag. But the box now can be moved away, and when you get back into your car or away from the event, I would recommend that you go in and you open up the box and you take out the bottles and you flip the switch on the battery pack to the off position. Why do I say that? Is because I've had the problem where that switch gets pushed inadvertently. It just is pushed around, and you will unknowingly have flipped the switch, your lights might be on, and the next time you go to use the box, it's not usable because the batteries are done, because you had the batteries lighting the lights for since the last operation. So that's the basic overview of the box. It's nothing more than that. The micro switch that's on the bottom is located under the floor. Like I said, it's underneath the flooring, and you'll feel for it as a little nipple that's sticking out under the flooring. You'll feel that. And then, again, please be careful about the box. These glass bottles there's nothing that keeps those bottles in there. In other words, the position of the bottles, you can see how flimsy. There's literally like, I think, a half an inch. You can see how easy they can fall over. So be aware that you see how easy they can fall. And that, of course, will eliminate the surprise in the operation of the box. I couldn't do it any other way to make the bottles more firm. One of the Santas has already talked to me about putting a piece of string or a piece of filament across the top, here to here, to try to keep the bottles from falling over. In other words, they would hit the filament and just keep on going back and forth. But I couldn't find a way of making the filament invisible or whatever, attractive, so I'll leave that up to you guys to find out how you want to do it. All I'm questioning is the basic operation of the box is very simple. Thanks again to Steve for his intuition on trying to make this thing very entertaining. Each one of the bottles, of course, has its own function, and read about that in his book. But I'll be back in a minute to say goodbye, but here's a short description of the inside of the box and its operation with removable tops as well. Thanks. Okay, everybody. Hey, this is just a short overview now of just a close-up of everything that's inside the box. Like I explained, that the hinges, the top, and the reveal panel are fragile, and you can see that there's just small hinges with small screws keeping everything together, so they should not be used as handles. Okay, so don't use these as handles. Use the handles that are on the end, and place the box on a secure area when you're working with it. So to get the inside of the box, the false floor removed. This is just a close-up. You can see that there's 3 LEDs for every one of the bottles, and by holding down on one end, the other end should be pried up with your finger, and once you do that, flip it up, and you can see that there's a battery supply, a connector that's adapted from a 9-volt battery connection. It's not 9 volts in there, there is 12 volts in there. And a little micro switch, you can see that in the corner here, and that's the little switch that you're pushing on the bottom. So when you want to replace the batteries, it's very simple. All you do is you hold the box while you disconnect the battery pack, and the battery pack becomes removable. Flip back the removable top cover. This is just a simple push. You can see where it says open right here. And then inside are 8 AA batteries. They can all be removed. A lot of my Santas now are just saying, hey, we're going to go out and get removable or rechargeable batteries because they want to save some money. But I did find that if you can go to the dollar store, you can get 8 batteries for $1. So it's up to you which way you want to go. But replacing the batteries is very simple. It's a very simple process. Slip the battery cover back in place. Make sure that it's aligned. Again, there's the on-off switch. It's in the off position. pushing that back up, putting it back in place, matching up the connections. Placing the bottles back in place. Okay. Oh, and this is a good time to show how to open up the bottles. These are removable tops, this particular version, and you can see that they don't fall off. But if you pry them off, there's a sticky glue that I found that you can use, that can be used. And of course, in Steve's latest book, he uses a special delight on his thumb to open up the bottle. And I think he leaves it in here. He just lifts up the bottle, he grabs, and when he pushes, the delight opens up. And then he uses his finger to fling his magic dust into one of the change boxes. You've seen those change boxes where the box looks empty and then all of a sudden you do something to it and something on the other side of the box or something out of the bag comes out. And that's how he can show his transporter function. And that's what the little gift indication is that this is the transporter function. You can see that I put little charms on here. The reindeer, this is what reindeer use to reindeer fly. This is Santa. This is how Santa gets into every house with just a little bit of that. This is the transporting dust that allows the gifts to come to where he is and fills up his bag. And then this is the magic dust that stops time so he can enjoy a cookie. That's why I put the little gingerbread boy on there. So again, if you open up the bottle and just lift in and have your delight on your thumb, you can have your delight lit, and now you have the attention of the child while you're moving the box away, and then you can throw the box, open up your finger, and then the light goes off and the magic happens in the change box. But let's verify that the batteries are changed and the light is lit by flipping the switch. And again, I can show you the switch location. Switch location is now on. And I'm pushing the button. Oh, there are the lights. So you can see that the lights come on. Lights off, lights on. That's just a simple switch on the bottom. So that's how the operation of the box works. And that's how the removable tops work. So finally, when you have the box and it's all put together and you want to get out of the client's area, or you're coming into the client's area, I have a beautiful little bag that I've used to contain the box. What you do is you unzip the bag, you put the one end in, and then the bag is just barely big enough to hold the box, and that's what it looks like. So it adds more drama to the client or to the event or to the visit, wherever you want to do, but at the same time it does protect the box. One big step that you must follow: this material is very slippery. It's very slippery, so do not try to pick up the bag or the box without using the handles on the end. If you try to lift the box, your fingers will slip off the box and the box will drop and break. And of course, that's my biggest fear, is that the bottles will break. You have to continuously look at what the bottles are doing and how to protect the bottles. If you open up the bottles, here's another point, and I guess this happened to one of the Santas already. He opened up the bottle and he touched the glue or the glitter on the inside of the bottle. And when he did that, it wiped off the glitter. It's only on there with some very, very thin glue. It's not on there permanently. So when you run your finger on the inside of the bottles, you're going to wipe off any glitter that's on the inside of the bottle. And of course, once you do that, it's ruined. You know, you can't fix it. You have to send back the bottle, or you have to go and get some glue, and you have to figure out how to get the glitter in there. Or get in touch with me, and I can repair the bottle by having it sent back, and I can re-glue it and do things like that. But just be aware that you do not want to put your finger inside the bottle, ever. And always use the handles on the unit when it's in the box, or not in the box, or in the bag, I'm sorry, in the bag. If it's in the bag, reach for the sides and carry it this way with the connections through the handles on the bottom. But do not try to lift up the bag or lift it up with hands like this. Your hands will slip, the surface is too slippery, and it will break. So that's about it. I don't want to go on and on, but it's I'm trying to give you any precautions that I've already run into that people have talked to me about. So we'll get back to you in just a minute about how to finish this up. Thanks, everybody. Hey, and one last comment that I wanted to make about the basic box. The boxes are very imperfect. They're not supposed to be jewelry box quality. I've done my best to try to make the box look like it's been handed down and old and battered and repaired. So you'll see Mars, you know, various scratches and imperfections, scratches. These are all talking points, you know, like stains and things like that that are on the box that you can say that they were repairs. Or if there's a scratch, you know, like that's where one of the antlers from the reindeer scratched the box one time. So again, don't be critical of the condition of the box and the finish of the box. It's as good as I could make it for the price point that I'm trying to get these to, but at the same time I wanted to have some story capability as well. You know, you can use this as a great prop about how the box was handed down to you from the fairies, and how the box has been damaged over years, and how it's been repaired, and it's been a sacred box that's been kept at the North Pole, and it's very quiet. You know, it's very secretive. No one's ever seen it before. So yeah, I just didn't want to get anybody all critical about their condition of their box and saying, hey, I see some scratches here, or the finish isn't right, or there's a scratch, or there's a mar, or there's some stains, or, you know, whatever. So it's supposed to be that way, and it's supposed to be the fact that you can talk about that as another talking point for the prop. So just I need some understanding out there, and I hope that it gives you a little more depth into the box itself. You know, it becomes a great storyline. Thanks to Steve Gillum. Well, that's about it. You should have seen everything that you need to know about unpacking and the operation of the Fairy Bucks 3000. Thanks again for your purchase, and I'll give you some information here at the end of the video on how to get in touch with me, and any other questions that you might have about the box can be directed to those. So thanks again, everybody. Have a Merry Christmas. Hopefully this boxing makes you more fun at Christmas time this year and in the future. And oh yeah, we're gonna maybe we'll see each other at Gatlinburg in 2018 or 2019. 2019. Thanks again, everybody. Bye now.